everybody. It is Friday! Who is joining us tonight? Jennifer and Kitty are here. How are you, ladies? Good to have you with us this Friday night. Lisa, good to have you with us. Enjoying all of you ladies joining us here tonight. Who else is hopping on? Angela, great to have you with us. Hey, Adele and Dazzle. 3 days, Adele. 2.5 days. You get to get your hair and nails done. Hey, Karen and Augusta. Hope it was a wonderful day there today. Things are good in Alaska. Glad to hear it. It's a beautiful day, evening sunset in Connecticut tonight. A little warm, but nice day. Hey, Pat and the Peanut Gallery chimed in too. Great to have you here. Great to have everybody here. Yeah, this is closer to on time. I mean, Cassandra and Rebecca pick on me because I say 8-ish Eastern, as it's a real time. And Bonnie is with us, and Park. Great to have you with us. Yeah, I bet you it's hot in Augusta. I was on the truck some today, Karen. It was hot. Hey, Michelle, how are you tonight? Great to have you with us. Yeah, it's really more on time. But I appreciate that you all put up with my 8-ish times. Hey, Rick, good to have you with us. Hope all is well in Columbia, South Carolina. Fine place that it is. Dana's with us. Hey, Dana. Great to see everybody chiming in here on this Friday night. What is everybody grateful for this Friday night? It's Friday! What are we grateful for this Friday? Tell me all about it. Tell me what you are grateful for this Friday night. I want to know. 8-ish works. That sounds like Park typing to that. I appreciate you, Park. Park, you'll appreciate that when Cassandra was reading about Bonnie digging ditches, she thought for sure, she was kind of glad to hear that you were still around because she thought for sure Bonnie was digging that ditch for you. So it's good to know that you're still around with us, Park. That's from Cassandra. True story. We had rain yesterday, I think. I've lost track of the days. Hey, Lisa, that's great that online sales are starting to pick up. Yeah, clothing's been strong overall for us, Bonnie, but it's probably, if I broke it down, and it was probably a little stronger in kids than in ladies, but we're not permitted to have fitting rooms here, so we've had all sorts of stuff happening in the aisles. I heard his voice. Maybe you had his voice recorded the other day when I talked to him. You know, you were just playing replays. Hey, Bailey. But, yeah, people are out shopping. You know what the really great thing is, okay, and this came up today as I was talking to somebody. Who had previously, that's great, Edwin, previously closed their store, okay, and legitimately had to close their store a long time ago. And we have been able to experience what they never got an opportunity to. Most people only realize that their customers are thankful for them when they close. We're getting to see that our customers are thankful for us as we reopen. And that's something many store owners don't get the blessing to be able to see. So that is kind of cool, and really is kind of neat. Yeah, I hope so too. We had to add a temporary return policy on clothing, and it's just kind of wacky, and especially where you're getting all sorts of wackiness and trying things on. This week we have had trying things on over clothes in front of a mirror, trying things in a back corner, over clothes, going into the fitting rooms where we removed all the curtains and just changing into the outfit, okay, for the whole world to see. We've seen it all this week, and I really wish we hadn't. And it's such isn't that great, Karen, that they have missed us, and because we are their safe place, we are their comfort, we bring them joy. I mean, we had this 90-year-old woman in the store today in our home decor store. She comes in to buy fake plants, to plant them so that her neighbors can't see into her house. She plants them out so that she can't see her neighbors, okay? So she plants them out in front of her house. She buys the big fake trees, everything, okay, and plants them outside in front of her house so that she can't see her neighbors. And she just wanted, 9 years old, she wanted to run and give me a hug. And, you can't do that, but she's so grateful to do that. Yeah, there are, there's just too much things that you can't unsee. But, the fact that our customers, that we bring joy to their lives, that we fill an important place, and they get to come in and tell us that right now, that they have missed us, that they're so glad that we've reopened, is huge, because most businesses only hear that as they're closing for good. During the going out of business sale, I don't know what I'm going to do without you. Now they've had to live without us for months, and they're coming back and telling us that. So that is one of the greatest parts of this, and the most satisfying. But it is cool. It is. She's absolutely adorable, Michelle, and her name's Elsa. And she comes in with her nursing assistant who helps her friend who helps her, and she's a hot ticket. She goes and visits her husband every day at the cemetery and makes sure the plantings are up to date on him. Tells him not to wait up. She tools around town in a little convertible. I mean, she's a hot ticket. She's truly adorable. And she's a redhead on top of that. She's a fire... Huh? And she still works. She volunteers, right? She gets paid? She works at the senior center, where all the old people go. Not her, but that's where the old people go. She gets paid to serve lunch to the old people. She's 90, and she gets paid to serve lunch to the old people. The first week reopening has been great. It's been very, very strong. The sales continue to be strong. You don't know what to expect from moment to moment. It is these highs during the day and lows, but hasn't been too overwhelming. Consigners have been great. And it never gets too overwhelming at any one time. But it has been really great to be back open, and truly the greatest feeling. And I think I mentioned it the other night, but I got to go again today, and to bring money to the bank, to bring actual cash to the bank was huge. I mean, I've been surprised at how much cash people are spending. And in actual cash, I mean, we're still in the majority is obviously on cards, but we have handled a lot of cash this week, and it was nice to go see my friends at the bank, even through the drive-through, because our banks up here aren't open. You can only drive through, but it was really, really nice to be able to go and do that. So certainly I think we potentially put more money in the bank this week than we took out, which is always a good sign. I haven't had time to sit and do that. Yes, my employees are more comfortable, Edwin, as we've been open a week. We've had some that are expanding their hours next week and the week after. We have others that are coming back who have reached out to us. We still have some holes like most of us do, but it is coming together from a staffing perspective. It really is, and it is very much coming together. I mean, we have one employee whose mother lives in an in-law apartment off their house, their mother and father, and all through this, if anybody left the house, she would hose them down and spray them with hand sanitizer and Lysol and everything else if they came home. And now she's getting over it a little bit and is going to be okay. Yeah, it is really nice to see the bank account increasing, Kitty. It's a wonderful feeling. No, you can't do everything through the drive-thru. Ours does, like large coin orders, they leave them in the vestibule. So you can come into the vestibule and they leave your large change order in there if it can't fit through the drive-thru. We don't have that issue. But we can see that ours is getting ready. They haven't set a date yet, but they put up the new sneeze guards around all the teller stations and everything else, and that's all installed. And but they miss being with people too, and it is the way we all miss this contact. So they're thrilled to see that I was bringing them money as much as I was thrilled to be bringing them money. So it's nice to have a partnership like that, where they know how important it is to that we're doing that. And I'm like, we'll see. We'll do this. We're going to do this again next week. I'm bringing you money again next week. That's what I told them. We're bringing the money. More money next week, I promise you. Very, about now?
My battery's dead on that tip.
How about now? Am I have sound now? Can I change the sound while I'm on this?
Yeah. Settings. No, you can't.
Hang on. We're getting power. One sec. We're working on it. We're working on it. All sorts of power issues. You hear me, Kelly? We have sound. Yes. Oh, hang on. Batteries. Okay. All right, how about now? Do we have... You should be able to hear me now. How about now? Are we back in business? Give me some likes if we're back in business. I feel like we're back in business. You tell me, ladies. Okay, I'm starting to see some likes. Okay, we're good. That's what I get for going high tech. I used to just have a iPhone on the thing, and then I got fancy. And QVC made me get this whole rockin' setup here with lapel mics and batteries and all this stuff. So let's go back to our good morning, good night book. Our good morning, good night book. And we're on page 14, Kitty, because Kitty has got one of these books, came in on consignment. Have you seen one? Good morning. Before you let the world in, make a little space for yourself. A cup of coffee, tied to the counter, morning quiet. Savor the best part of that dream you had for one more second. Whew! Okay, have at it, world. My stage crew rocks. Thank you. If anybody needs a new stage crew, Rebecca is a recent college graduate, graduated into a pandemic job market, just saying.
Specialize in media production. You're welcome.
Okay, let's get into what's happening in the world today. Are you ready? Children's Place is to shutter 300 stores as it shifts its focus to digital sales. They're going to reduce their store count by a third. The children's apparel retailer is accelerating what's called its fleet optimization initiative. It is now targeting to close an additional 300 stores by the end of 2021, with 200 closures planned for this year and another 100 planned for 2021. As of May 2nd, they had 920 stores. Lululemon sales fall 17% amid dark stores. That's actually not that bad. Strong online sales couldn't make up for the loss of brick-and-mortar revenue in their Lululemon's first quarter, as its stores were closed for a good part of the quarter due to the pandemic. The retailer reported that its net income dropped to $28.6 million, compared with $96.6 million a year ago. Net revenue fell to $652 million. Direct-to-consumer net revenue increased 68%, making up 54% of total revenue compared to just 26% for the first quarter last year. We're learning more every day about our guests, how they enjoy interacting with us online, and what makes them comfortable as our stores reopen. Our strong digital business demonstrates the strength of our guest connection and a long-term opportunity to create further omni experiences going forward. Wasn't I just talking about that? Connection with your guests, connection with your customers. It is sad about Children's Place, but you gotta, yeah, but it's that they met their customer, they met their customer in different ways, and that's really important there. And, you know, we need to continue moving forward, meeting our customers wherever they want to be met. Okay, you got to keep in mind that so many of you, and I'm talking about this more later, but so many of you have created digital platforms as part of this. So many of you done your first live videos as part of this, going in as part of this pandemic. So many of you have created new websites as part of this pandemic. We need to grow our way out of this. To do that, you need to have processes in place so that you can continue to drive revenue in those channels. And then we will be able to grow out of this. Sobering jobs outlook. We're expecting a long haul. More than 1.5 million people sought unemployment benefits last week as layoffs spread to more job categories, even as businesses reopened. Although workers have begun returning to restaurants, retailers, and other businesses hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic, layoffs are seeping through other sections of the job market that previously escaped major damage. On Thursday, the Labor Department said more than 1.5 million Americans filed new unemployment claims, the lowest number since the crisis began, but far above normal levels. A further 700,000 workers who were self-employed or otherwise ineligible for state jobless benefits filed new claims. The overall number of workers collecting state benefits fell slightly in the most recent seasonally adjusted tally to 20.9 million in the week ended May 30th from a revised 21.3 million from the previous week. Grubhub has been acquired in a $7.3 billion mega deal. Netherlands-based Just Eat Takeaway is entering the U.S. on-demand food delivery market in a big way. The Dutch food delivery company has agreed to buy Grubhub for $7.3 billion, all-stock deal. It would value Grubhub at $75.15 a share, 27% premium to Grubhub's closing price. The merger will create the world's largest online food delivery company outside of China, with operations in 25 countries, including the U.S. and Canada. The 4 countries generating the new company's largest share of profits will be the U.S., UK, Netherlands, and Germany. I didn't know that they were actually profitable. I'm looking for... I think they're talking revenue there. Hey, Ellen, did I hear that the Earl has said you can open Monday? Did I read that correctly, that Montgomery County can open Monday? Great to have you with us. Hi to Mike as well. Amazon. They like to be in the news. They're like a politician. Amazon temporarily restricts facial recognition technology from police. Amazon is implementing a 1-year moratorium on police uses of its recognition facial technology. I need that. In a short post on its corporate blog, the e-tail giant said it will continue to allow organizations like the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children and Marianus Analytics to use Amazon Recognition facial recognition solution to help rescue human trafficking victims and find missing children. We advocated that governments should put in place stronger regulations to govern the ethical use of facial recognition technology. And in recent days, Congress appears ready to take on this challenge. I doubt that. Amazon said in a blog post, "We hope this 1-year moratorium might give Congress enough time to implement appropriate rules, and we stand ready to help." IBM, as we covered earlier this week, said it will no longer develop or research facial recognition technology and no longer offer the technology to law enforcement agencies. They're continuing to cite potential concerns over racial bias and civil rights on that law enforcement using it. Yeah, I agree with you, Russ, on Grubhub. Ellen, that's awesome. I'm so excited. I see renovations are underway. That is great. I can't wait to get down there and see it. Pasadena is in the house. Great to have you live, Jenny. Been missing you. U.S. manufacturers struggle to keep workers in face of weak demand. Cheryl Wellman was able to bring back most of her furloughed workers last month with the help of a special government loan. I wonder what government loan that was. Now she's laying them off again. Wellman, president of Ingenuity Metals in Romeoville, Illinois, which makes metal parts for big companies including GE and Honeywell, was hoping for a surge of orders as the pandemic shutdowns lifted and companies moved to restock shelves. She also hoped the disruptions of recent months would pull more businesses back to U.S. shores, creating new opportunities for smaller suppliers like Integrity, which has 20 employees. But neither of these things has happened. She was able to rehire with the aid of the $200,000 she got from the PPP, which some of the strength. The problem now is that demand in many industrial sectors, from oil and gas to construction equipment, remains depressed, and that underscores the subdued response key policymakers such as Jerome Powell have shown over the big upsurge in hiring in May. It's a long road. It's going to take some time, Powell said in a press conference Wednesday, cautioning that while encouraging, it's going to be a long road. Full recovery is years away. To be sure, some U.S. factories are booming. Detroit is rushing to build trucks and SUVs, and Polaris, the maker of all-terrain vehicles and motorcycles, recorded record sales in April and May. Yes, our neighbor has one, and they use it at all hours of the night. And we live in the country, and we can still hear it. Chief economist at the National Association of Manufacturers said he thinks the worst of the downturn is behind us, but the demand will remain weak as companies fret about the potential for another virus surge and the political uncertainty of an election year. I don't see us getting back to manufacturing pre-recession levels of output until 2022. The sector is still down, even though they added an impressive number of jobs. The sector is still down 1.1 million jobs from their pre-crisis level. 1.1 million. Hey, Dana and Shannon, great to have you with us. Hang on one second here. I actually had the time to organize everything late today, and then I dropped it on my way down the stairs. Small town retail's shining moment can last. Retailers in less populated areas have done better than population dense hubs during the pandemic, and some are continued to outperform. Even used as an example is Lowe's, which has a heavier rural footprint than Home Depot. Okay, and its revenue growth has been far exceeding Home Depot's as a percentage. But we all know Home Depot hasn't been hurting during this. Sam's Club is rolling out curbside pickup across the U.S. Sam's Club is deploying curbside pickup service to all of its 597 locations in the U.S. Company expects the rollout to be completed by the end of June. The company is primarily aiming the curbside pickup service at Plus level members who pay $100 per year for shopping privileges and will be able to use the pickup feature without paying extra. They will initially offer the service to members who pay a lower membership fee, but do not say when that period will end. As part of their contactless thing. I'm about to drop a whole bunch more. Hey, Michelle, great to have you with us. Party City! Woot woot! Tries to pivot as quarter one loss. How much did they lose in quarter one? In excess of $500 million. Stores closed and social events around the country are canceled. Net sales at the party supply retailer fell 19.3% to $412 million in the first quarter. In the weeks following the store closures, Party City rapidly expanded its curbside delivery, which helped drive a 500% expansion in buy online, pick up in store, which still doesn't help all their sales, but hey, when you go from not doing any of that to a lot of it, 500% is a lot. They had been seeing growth prior to that, prior to the pandemic. So hope is that by Friday, about 85% of its footprint had reopened, and sales volume was about 80% of previous levels. So, but they're hoping that they don't repeat last year's quarter four. Halloween's big for them, and they blew it last year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hey, Carrie Radicella, great to have you with us on the program tonight. Let's see. Try not to. Economists are predicting quarter three for the start of the U.S. recovery. More than two-thirds of economists surveyed by the Wall Street Journal say U.S. economic recovery from the coronavirus pandemic will get underway in the third quarter. Respondents expect an unemployment rate of 9.6% by December, lower than an estimate of 11.4% in a previous survey. How about all that remote work stuff, huh? Only 20% of newly remote workers said they'd like to work remotely full-time. 41% they'd prefer to head back to the office, and 39% said they like flexibility. Both surveys only show a small majority want to retain a work-from-home option, and yet it looks like employees will get that remote work flexibility whether they want it or not. 82% of decision makers said they're planning more remote work going forward. 65% want to downsize their office space. Why the gap between employee preference and business intent? The survey provides these clues. 54% of newly remote workers report working more hours than before. 53% of decision makers feel that going remote has increased overall productivity. Can you think of another change you might make as a business that would increase productivity across 50% or more of your workforce? Dramatically decrease costs for office space, parking, snacks, so many expenses, and possibly make some employees happier with their jobs? Wait, happier? If you embraced remote work pre-pandemic, you won't be surprised by the productivity increases or the cost savings, but you may question the happier claim. Even in the best of times, transitioning to smooth remote work takes a while. These are not the best of times, and the study found that 53% of employees feel their well-being improved because of working from home. Given the context, global pandemic and such, economic collapse, stuck at home all the time, only a paltry 18% feel their mental well-being worsened. So certainly an interesting take at things there. Hey, Kathy, great to have you with us. All right. Businesses see online growth during pandemic study. A study says, gloom may be in the air, but businesses have gained by shifting to e-commerce during the crisis, according to the State of Commerce experience. Of businesses selling online, 46% have experienced growth. Moreover, 64% plan to spend more on their websites, while 58% plan to spend more on their mobile app. 52% on social, and 46% on third-party marketplaces. But the biggest budget increases over the next 12 months will be for commerce technology and tools, and third-party services deploying commerce tech. Mobile is third, while physical stores are at the bottom, with only 34% of businesses investing in more of them. At the same time, 70% of customers are purchasing more than usual, and 90% are exhibiting different behaviors as they avoid physical stores and shift much of their purchasing online. Almost 50% of consumers would pay more for a better online shopping process, and 53% would stop buying for a brand after a bad experience. 48% are expanding or upgrading their investment in connected products, the Internet of Things, and 11% are planning to invest in the next 12 months. So this is what I was talking about earlier. I mean, you gotta keep in mind, you're making these investments. You've made these investments during the pandemic. You need to continue to scale them as you're back open and back at it. Yes, we all have a lot going on. I mean, we do. And a lot of balls up in the air. But keeping a focus on our online presence and what we're doing online, and that is a growth point for your store to help you grow out of this, and not to be ignored post-pandemic, is going to be very valuable to your future growth. Hey, Lori. Great to have you with us. All right. Now for the part you've been waiting for. Government crap. The biggest PPP lenders. J.P. Morgan Chase and Company is the largest paycheck protection program lender nationally by dollar volume. Topping that list is also Bank of America and Citizens Financial Group. The 15 largest lenders, which together have approved $153 billion across 1.43 million loans, that's about 31.6% of all the loans approved to date and 30% of the dollars. J.P. Morgan Chase led all lenders by approving $28.7 billion for nearly 257,000 business, with an average loan size of $111,000, and ranked second for lending by loan count. Bank of America was the top lender by loan count, after approving $24.9 billion across 325,000 loans. Its loan size was much smaller than Chase's at an average of $76,000. And Citizens Bank came in at number 13 with $4.9 billion over 48,000 loans. The SBA did not report a breakdown of lenders by state. Let's see. Our buddy Stevie's in the news today. Mnuchin says the U.S. can't shut the economy even if the virus resurges. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said the U.S. shouldn't shut down the economy again, even if there's another surge in cases. We've learned that if you shut down the economy, you're going to create more damage, medical problems that get put on hold. We can't shut down the economy again. He added that he believes President Trump made the right decision to urge states to ease social distancing rules that have crippled the U.S. economy. He said that in the event of a resurgence, it will not be necessary to impose restrictions again, because COVID-19 testing and contact tracing are improving and officials understand more about how to contain outbreaks. And then he's got a whole lot of nothing to say there. Oh, hang on a second. That's the same article. The Treasury Secretary also says that names of small business borrowers will not be released. The Trump administration doesn't plan to release details about companies that received billions of dollars through the PPP. The administration believes the names of borrowers from the PPP and the amounts they received are proprietary and confidential in many cases. But the application for PPP loans, which are forgivable if they meet certain criteria, such data will automatically be released. Moreover, the SBA, which oversees the lending program, told Bloomberg News in April that such loan-specific information would be made public in the near future. The apparent reversal on disclosure comes amid troubling signs for oversight of the $2.2 trillion relief package that Congress approved in March. The GAO, which is responsible for preparing a required report on the spending by the end of June, has requested loan data from both the PPP and a separate program for economic disaster loans, but has not been told when the request will be honored. We are extremely disappointed to learn that the GAO has had the same problems we've had, and is not getting information that they need to carry out their oversight function in the executive branch, as well as the difficulties we have in the legislative branch. The position the administration is taking is setting them up for a court battle between the administration and 11 news agencies which have sued to make the details public. The administration's proprietary information about loan level data with borrowers' identities would risk disclosing proprietary information about millions of small businesses and the salaries of sole proprietors and independent contractors. That's because PPP loan amounts are calculated using the applicant's payrolls. Yeah, so they're saying that because of the case of small businesses, this is proprietary information and should be remain confidential, is their argument. I'm not sure where that's really going to get them. The news media is going on their changing responses, but I think overall they might have something there, but you're taking government money. Yeah, she can get the PPP as an independent contractor. As a 1099 independent contractor, she can get that for 2.5 months income, Bonnie. Absolutely she can. She can absolutely apply and get it. A lot of them don't think they can, but if they have documented income as a 1099 independent contractor, and it's sufficient. So the one caveat that sometimes happens with some of these stylists is if they do too much in cash and really aren't claiming it, then it becomes a different problem. But if they've got, based on their 1099, they can take their 1099s and go get a PPP. Absolutely. And they should. They're entitled to it. So because government works so well, we have the revisions to the first interim rule. We had earlier this week, we had the interim rule. We had the revisions to the, we had the first interim rule, which is an update to the interim rule on the PPP. And now we have the revisions to the first interim rule. And so what does this 8 pages of past 5 o'clock, or past actually 6 o'clock once the news outlets had already done their nightly news, say to get lost in the weekend? Well, this is kind of interesting, okay? And what would be more interesting, and granted we're not supposed to find out who got PPPs and who didn't, but what's interesting with this is they revised the case. So could I be ineligible? The PPP rules said that if an owner of 20% or more of the equity of the applicant has been convicted of a felony within the last 5 years, they would not be eligible for a PPP. After further consideration, though, my guess is they realized the secretary realized one of their buddies was getting gypped out of a PPP, has determined that a lesser time frame for felonies that do not involve bribery, embezzlement, or a false statement in a loan application or federal financial assistance is really what Congress meant to say. So as long as your felony didn't involve those things, you can still get a PPP and get forgiveness. So that is what the late Friday night update to the rules in 8 pages came out to. Yes, same thing for independent ditch diggers. That's great. Did you have, well, only, Bonnie, if you were employed as an independent ditch digger before February 15th and had income from it. I'm not sure that you got paid to be an independent ditch digger. And it's at this point that I think things are going off the rails. There's a reason why I have that page on refresh late at night so that I can see what they sneak in at all hours of the night, because that's what they snuck in so far this weekend. I expect some more. Only in America. Yes, Michelle. Okay, so that is the updates as of tonight. All of this information, everything that I talk about, including these videos, where I'm here with you, even with my production crew. These videos, go over to narts.org/resalestrong. Narts.org/resale strong. They'll be there by noon. Noon tomorrow. Tomorrow. By noon, you'll be able to find them there. I am on this program every night, live at 8 o'clock Eastern, 8-ish Eastern, really. You can find me here live every night at 8 o'clock Eastern, where I take your questions and I provide you the latest updates of what's going on in the world. When you have a question in between all this, you just email me. And you email me at Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com. N-E-I-L at ECIstores.com. And I pick up the phone and I call you. It's just that simple. So make sure you include your phone number. I am behind in my calls, but I do call everybody back. Don't worry. Be happy. Because I'm here again tomorrow night as we prepare for Self-Care Sunday. It's Self-Care Sunday Eve tomorrow. We start every day and night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start the day and night. For those of you that were not here at the top of the program, our good morning tonight is good morning. Before you let the world in, make a little space for yourself. Cup of coffee, tie to the counter, morning quiet. Savor the best part of that dream you had for one more second. Woo! Okay, have at it, world. Our good night tonight is good night. Before you turn the world down, make a little space for yourself. Brush your teeth, tie to the counter, put down the phone. Savor the best part of the day for one more second. Woo! Okay, have at it, dreams. There is your artwork there. It is great to be with you, everybody. I will be back here again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I'll be here with you. Till then, everybody, remember that you, and you, but most importantly, you are not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Have a great night.